for jamming us.
Magnify, Mr. Sulu. What is this? Shields up, ready to move!
All right, that was a clip from the new Star Trek film. Richard Crouse is joining us now with his take on this and some other new movies opening this weekend. Good morning, Richard.
Nice to see you.
I feel like the Trekkies are going to be very excited.
Well, they were, and they should be, because these movies don't come around that often. And, you know, up until this point, and I will say including this movie, the reboots of the Star Trek movies have been pretty good. J.J. Abrams was in charge of them, but he's off making Star Wars movies and doing 100 other things right now. So they brought in a new director, and it's Justin Lin. Now, if you've stayed through to the end credits of any Fast and Furious movie, he's directed about half of them, I think, or he's directed a number of them. So he's really good with action. And so at the beginning of this movie, James T. Kirk, played by Chris Pine, he's just kind of done with it all. He's been out in space for 3 years. There's 2 years left to go, and he is literally personally and professionally lost in space. He just doesn't know what his next step should be. And Justin Lin knows that the best thing to get James T. Kirk out of his funk is a wild alien attack. And that's what happens here. And because it's a big summer blockbuster, about every 8 to 9 minutes, there's a giant action scene that happens.
That often?
Yeah, and so what you have here is a movie that is kind of an action sci-fi movie rather than a sci-fi action movie. And it doesn't exactly feel like a Star Trek movie, or at least not to me, even though the characters are named Kirk and Spock and Sulu's in there and all that. It feels like an action movie with little sci-fi elements that happens to happen in outer space, but it's not exactly what I expected from classic Star Trek. But having said that, it's pretty fun.
Okay, so we gave this one...
I gave it 3 stars.
3 stars. Okay, the next one is Ice Age Collision Course.
So this is the 5th one in this series. The 5th big screen movie. Then there's all kinds of other movies that have been, you know, direct to video and TV and that sort of thing. And so I had to kind of look back, though, in my notes. I've reviewed all of these. And it turns out I kind of hate the Ice Age movies. And I have not really ever been a fan, you know, and you're not supposed to, like, compare your kids to one another. And you shouldn't, I suppose, compare animated films to one another. But if you look at the... Well, I'm going to do it. So if you look at the Ice Age movies and compare them to the Pixar movies, the elegance of the storytelling isn't there. The characters aren't as developed. There's just not as much oomph to them. Okay. So you have characters with, you know, very recognizable voices. Ray Romano was in here, Dennis Leary, and that sort of thing. But they're kind of dull. The thing that elevates this movie, if elevates is the right word, is the character we're seeing here, Scrat, the squirrel. He is kind of the through line that connects all of these movies, and his relentless search for the elusive acorn that he tries to get in every single movie. In this movie, his search for the acorn takes him into outer space, and he triggers a meteor that's going to wipe out all the mammals on Earth. I wanted more of that story and less of everything else. I think it might be time to put the Ice Age movies on ice.
Okay.
2 stars.
Few seconds left. Absolutely fabulous, the movie. This is based on the TV show?
Yep. So anytime you have a movie that has colon and the movie in its title, you know what you're getting is just a blown up version of the television show. So Absolutely Fabulous was Dina and Patsy, 2 drunken Brits who kind of staggered their way through the Cafe Society of London for many years on television. The movie is just more the same. There's all kinds of celebrity cameos to kind of tart things up a little bit. And Kate Moss has an unexpected and pretty funny turn here. So if you were a fan of the television show, you'll find something here. If not, you know, you might be left scratching your head a little bit as to what everyone sees in this. I gave it 2 stars because I kind of felt that I'd seen it all before.
Okay, Richard Crouse, thank you so much. See you next week.